Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to the channel. I am aTone. This is aTone Tarot. Leo, you are tuned in for the topic, New Levels, New Devils. I will be breaking down the entire year 2026 by way of quarters. So the first 3 months, the second, third, and fourth via these four decks. I will open us up with this traditional tarot. I'll get into the second quarter of 26 via this character oracle deck. I will use the Kipper for the third quarter and this inner wisdom deck for the fourth quarter of 2026. So without further ado, Leo, let's get up into your message. Sun, moon, rising, and Venus. All right, Leo, let's see. New levels, new devils. What do my Leos need to be aware of as it relates to the first 3 months of 2026? And when I say new levels, new devils, I mean, what new sets of challenges will you encounter or need to be aware of, Leo, as you aspire to that new direction in your life, whatever it is you are working towards in 2026. So let's see what my Leos need to be on the lookout for. Sun, moon, rising, and Venus for the first quarter. And if you could, please go ahead and smash that like button, comment, share, and subscribe. Your girl would greatly appreciate it. To my new viewers, welcome to the channel. To my returning viewers, welcome back. I appreciate you guys. Let's see, Leo. All right. And you know, if you're aware, you can better prepare, right? That's what I like to say. So, what do my Leos need to be on the lookout for? Opening up 2026. 5 cards. 5 cards, please. One more card. Okay, Leo. So for the first 3 months of 2026, you receive the 3 of Cups, the 7 of Swords, the 4 of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Hierophant. So in the first 3 months of 26, as it relates to some challenges you may be facing, it looks like you may be stepping away from a friend group for reasons of someone maybe not being so honest, someone's lying to someone else. This is talking behind someone's back inside of a friend group, and someone picking up on that and stepping away, taking a rest, taking a break, putting some distance between you and or people that you used to be very close-knit with, Leo. With this 3 of Cups, 7 of Swords, and that 4 of Swords, is you being very objective around a decision that is best for you. It's decisive, clear. You see, she got the sword. She's the only queen in the deck that holds a sword. So she has that mothering side, the nurturing side, but she also got that sword to cut that ass if necessary, right? And someone takes a break because that level of head over heart is deployed, and someone needs to do a woosah and ground themselves in a certain amount of stability. With this Hierophant being here, it could even be that I'm speaking to a Leo collective who decide that they want to dedicate their life to a particular religion, and they understand that the way that their life was set up before, they can't serve two masters. So they want to become more in tune with their spiritual self, spiritual world, and they need to step away from other tables and friend groups and environments. And some people may be talking about Leo because they're deciding to do that. Again, it's just one narrative. You know how it fits, Leo, and if it don't apply, let it fly. Take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. Yeah. All right. So as it relates to the first quarter, it may be a challenge to transition to a state of, I don't know why I just heard prosperity, like just, being more systematic and regimented, and you know that how loose with your time, energy, you don't want to do that anymore. You can't do that anymore because what you're working towards becoming and what you want to aspire to be and grow into in 2026, you can't sit with certain people. They can't come with you. And that can be a little bit of a challenge with this Seven of Swords being here. You would hope or think maybe people would celebrate you wanting to develop this relationship or cultivate this spiritual side of yourself, but that's not the response that you're getting, or you're making a decision to elevate your life and change your life in such a way that sets you apart from some people that you used to be very close to, and it creates some issue with some people around you, Leo. So that is what I'm seeing as it relates to your challenge that may pop up in the first quarter of 2026. Let's take a look at April to the end of June as it relates to challenges for my Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Come on, Leo, let's get with it. Let's see what's going on. So, and you might feel it in your intuition as it relates to people not being in agreement with what you're embarking on or how you're changing and evolving in your life. You can feel the disconnect and the distance between you and these people that you could maybe at one point read their minds. But now it's like, nah, it's some space there where it wasn't before. You know how you could hang out with somebody and it just flow. And it just flow and it's perfect symmetry, no problem. And then some time go by and you get around them, and then next thing you know, it's not as easy to coordinate a plan with that person as it once was. So you notice the shift in how things once were to what they transitioned into becoming. And it's like, yeah, no, this ain't it no more. All right. What's going on with the second quarter for my Leos? 5 cards, please, Spirit. One more card. Okay, Leo. So for the second quarter, you receive painter, employee, father, stranger, and waiter. So, with painter being here, remember the first thing that came to mind was you crafting your life and changing what it looks like, the environment, everything around you, and you really daring to say, why not me? Why shouldn't I have this life? Or you are really working to change the landscape with painter being here. Whatever your life used to look like, you don't want it to look like that no more. You know, you're wanting to create a new picture. That new picture may be surrounding work. Like I could be speaking to a Leo collective who at one point their identity was closely tied to their career, and now not so much. Or vice versa. You didn't really care too much about your career and now you want to go super hard at it. Whatever the case may be, there's a switch in however you want your life to look, and you're wanting to step out on faith on something. Yeah. So with father and stranger being here, again, small collective, small few of you, this may be a stranger delivering a message to you from a father, for those of you who do not have your father on this earthly plane. Like you might have always sought out your father's advice, and if they're not here, a stranger may deliver a message to you from your father, from the spirit world, right? And it's like something clicks. And the challenge becomes now having the courage to do what needs to be done to get out there. And being patient and waiting can sometimes be the hardest part of that. You're waiting to hear something, waiting for the direction around what's next. There's for this second quarter, I'm really picking up, this is laying the plans to, it's like erasing what was, clearing, getting rid of, right? Because remember, in the first 3 months of 2026, your challenge was recognizing that some people, places, and or things, it could even be habits, cannot come with you where you want to go, and as it relates to how you want your life to look. So that's the acknowledgement of it. You recognizing it, sitting with it. In this second quarter, this is the clearing, erasing, getting rid of what was, changing. All right, I've acknowledged that this gotta go. So now that I've tagged and bagged everything, let's get it out of here. Let's get it out of here. Because you receive some type of direction from a father or a patriarch figure that gives you the green light to do what's necessary for that next step forward. But there could be a waiting period in here too, Leo, where once you get this green light, the challenge becomes waiting and having to take a few steps back to take some steps forward is also what I'm picking up on, because a waiter is not necessarily high ranking in a restaurant's chain of command. He at the bottom. I mean, might be right above the busboy. So having to take some steps back to clear the space, clear the landscape, clear the habits that you used to have, patterns that you used to have, career path that you used to have. You may have to do some grunt work or start. Oh, I just broke my daggone nail in my hair. That's crazy. And I was just saying I was going to get my nails done this weekend. Anyway, Leo, boy, I tell you, the waiting, going down low on the totem pole and having to work your way up. Maybe a bit of a challenge for you, Leo, but I think you feel as though it's worth it for the plan forward and where you see yourself going. You're like, it's okay, I'll start over because I've built an empire before, and this plan is 10 times better than previous plans, so I'm willing to put the work in. I don't know, something like that. And again, if it's not your message, don't force it. But we're going to get into the third quarter of 2026 with this Kipper pulling 5 cards for my Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Now, bro, let's see, look crazy. Crazy word. It's all good. It's right on schedule. All right. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. With challenges or new levels, new devils. All right, Leo. So for the third quarter of 2026, you receive concern in reverse, poverty in reverse, great fortune, change in reverse, and gift. So this don't look like too many challenges. Because with concern being in reverse, that's not having a care in the world, sleeping easy, because you are not broke, you're not impoverished, you are wealthy, not just in physical things by way of real estate. You have heat, you have water, you have food. You're thankful for your gifts, skill sets. You're blessed. And as it relates to challenges, this is given heavy is the head that wears the crown, because with change being in reverse, that is change upright is relocating, moving. With it being in reverse, that's you putting down roots somewhere, and that being a gift that pays dividends to you. Yeah. And ultimately, it makes you fortunate in quite a few different ways, Leo. But with this amount of fortune, wealth, and level of ease comes responsibility. Yeah. And I just also got and with this being a challenge, because it's like, why would this be a challenge? Sometimes you can lose your hunger, right? When you're not in a state of survival, or you are just so accustomed to being in a state of survival, it can be difficult to receive a gift. And if that's the case, you can come off as ungrateful. So, but that's just for a small few and highly unlikely with the cards that are before me. But again, the topic is about potential challenges. But the new level that you're going to in the third quarter is having the responsibility of managing a fortune. right? And that fortune could be by way of multiple streams of income that you create because you have multiple skill sets, Leo, and you create multiple ways to bring in money. I'm picking up on someone selling dinners out of their house. Someone, my mom used to say, as long as I owe you, you'll never go broke. I don't know why I picked that up, but with with concern being in reverse and poverty being in reverse, that's what I got from that message. Like, as long as I owe you, you never go broke, right? And that is someone who has skills for days. Like, I'll always be able to get $1 to you. Don't you worry about it, because I got a skill set that I can bring to the table and a hustle that I can bring to the table. Again, talking to a Leo collective who has multiple gifts. They're not just skilled in one area or two. It's probably 3 or more. You can do 3 or more things if you had to or wanted to easily, making it look easy with concern in reverse. So, not too bad, not too shabby for the third quarter of 2026. And if you haven't done so already, Leo, smash that like button, comment, share, and subscribe. Your girl would greatly appreciate it. All right, let's see. What does the fourth quarter have for my Leos? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Fourth quarter being from October to the end of December. What new levels, new devils do my Leos need to be on the lookout for? Five cards, please. For my Leos. All right, Leo. So for the fourth quarter of 2026, you receive unique bridges. What happened? Move on and desperation. So for the fourth quarter of 2026, it looks like your challenges are going to be, again, how you started the year was clearing out some people, places, and things that no longer serve you, right? You cleared house, clean house. Now we get to the end of the year, and with unique and bridges being here, it may be a challenge for you to build new relationships because of how unique and how multifaceted you are, Leo. Right? So that could be a challenge for you where you're like, all right, I know that the people I might have started with in the year are not necessarily there, but I need someone. It's like, what happened? Now is not the time to give up or give in, right? Like, you might be feeling low, and it may be a difficulty for you to move on and past something that ultimately had to happen. Life moves in stages and phases, Leo. And everything cannot remain the same forever. That's not how life works. So, just be mindful that moving on and moving past something that may be on one level or another bittersweet, it may trigger you, while, and I say that because with the third quarter being as beautiful as it was lit up. And that third quarter was your birthday season, right? But we're now at the fourth quarter of 2026. This is holiday season when families come together, and you might be feeling challenged with figuring out, well, what happened to my people? Well, just think back. You know what happened because you were a part of the recognition and clearing of the situation, right? And that may be a challenge for you. Your reflection on what happened and how you had to move and how other people might have moved on from you, and that's not how you would have expected them to respond to you in that moment of wanting to make a certain change around your life, Leo. So you could be looking like, well, what happened to my folks? What happened to my friends? What did I do? And that could be an issue for you as it relates to the closing of 2026. But just know your uniqueness, your one of one, who you are, will create bridges to get you across. It's all about perspective, Leo, because you don't want to get lost in your head and create this hysteria or environment of desperation where you start to do things and backtrack. You don't move backwards. You move on and you move forward. All right. So that is your message. I hope that it helps. And until next time, peace.